What's up, you guys, and welcome to this special edition of Sex Talk with T. Graye. We're gonna go ahead and bring my guest in, you guys. One of the best to ever do it by way of New York, but he's from Ohio. Been doing his thing, a G in the comedy game right now in Vegas, tearing things up. Mark Gregory, come on in.
Yo, what's going on? How you doing?
I'm good. Welcome to Sex Talk with T. Graye.
Listen, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
I was so excited to have you on. I have low key been a fan, and then now I feel like I'm a student now as a new comedian of a lot of the OGs watching, learning, watching. Um, and so when you get into comedy and you're paying attention to comedy in a different way now, you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's not just for the laughs now what you're paying attention to. So um you're one of the people that I've been kind of picking some stuff
Oh
up.
man, I
Oh,
appreciate that. That means a lot.
okay. Okay. But look, we ain't come here to talk about that today though.
Okay, yeah, we here for a specific reason. Let's dig into it.
Look, let's jump right into it. So, everybody, this year, 2022, you guys, you already know we're doing our bucket list. All of us have been successfully pulled through this pandemic, and we've been back to getting it in. But our perspective has changed. So, for you, if you could put a couple of things on your sexual bucket list to make sure you do before you get up out of here, what would they be?
Mm. I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like I may be a little boring, man.
It's okay.
No, I'm being honest with you. I really don't have any. I guess I'm like old school, man. I just like regular old school coochie. You feel me? Like I don't.
Oh, you like your coochie with the hair still on it. You like
No, I mean
you like
old
that
school in the sense
1970s
of
snack.
like old school in the sense of like we don't need too many bells and whistles. It really don't got to be no other person as long as the coochie wet. Boom, we can have fun. But no, I really don't think I have a bucket list for real.
So do you feel as if you've tried everything that you ever wanted to do? There's nothing that is intriguing to you, nothing that may seem taboo, but you're like, I might do that one day.
No, I definitely haven't done everything, but I've had like my fair share of women, and that's cool for me. I feel like just the regular woman's anatomy is enough for me. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, just you all are amazing creatures from the curves, the lips, breast, the backside, booty. I like a little donk. I like thighs. So I mean, if she coming to the table with that, we good. So
As
I
long
mean
as
that
all the parts,
all the parts.
all
If
the
she coming
parts
to the
in
table
play.
with that, I could keep seeing that, and that will keep the engine going for me.
So, what is your favorite part of a woman's body and why?
Mm. I'm gonna say I am I'm a booty man. That's it. It's just something about the curvature of it, and just something to just be able to squeeze when you laid up with your lady, or just standing behind her in line at Walmart or anything. Just being able to grab something. That's it for me.
Ain't nothing wrong with that though. Ain't
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that. I spent a lot of time with no ass, y'all. I ain't gonna front.
Okay.
Most of my life, I ain't had no tail whatsoever.
And
And
then what
then
happened?
um and then what happened was I ended up losing like 100 pounds. Hey, Mr. Flatliner, we're gonna jump into that too. I ended up losing 100 pounds, and I had a trainer at the time, and so he built my muscles, my glute muscles out. So then, as I picked up weight again, now you got healthy fat on top of muscle. So
Okay.
dang, now T Gray got an ass that I can't get rid of. No, shout out to
Okay.
me.
Hey, listen, man. I'll be honest with you.
Shout out to
Listen,
me for not having a booty. I done had an ass for about 5 years. I'm so proud of it.
when I tell you that is my kryptonite, I could see a lady in a wheelchair and be like, hey, you see the way the back of that wheelchair is sinking down? She got talent right there. It ain't even got to be a stand-up booty. In a wheelchair, I see it like, hey, you see that, right?
Let me tell you something. If anybody ever gave me enough ass that you could see it from the wheelchair, T Gray ain't working no more. I'm just tell y'all that right now.
That's hilarious.
I ain't working no more. I'm snapping these photos. They're going on Instagram, running these numbers up. I ain't doing shit.
Hey, listen. That it seemed like that. I don't know if you watch American Gangster, but like the female
Mhm.
version.
I do. I do. I've
You
covered
did you
some of
see
them red
the one
carpets.
chick from Atlanta who was like the silicone queen? She was
Hmm.
injecting everybody. Hey, she was listen. She had the game sold up for a good little minute. She was making
Oh yeah.
millions off of just
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
And it's so crazy. So Mr. Flatliner, first off, hey babe, he says teeth and feet is his favorite part of a woman's body. Yo, those two things are important, bro. I know
Yeah.
everybody who's anybody, especially in this age group, you all remember and Boomerang when he pulled the
Yes.
thing back on Lisa Deshawn and she had that
Yeah.
hammer time.
Yeah. But you know what? That's so. I mean, that's what the crazy part, man. You know, it's different things for different people, man. Some dudes may like kneecaps, shoulder blades, but you know, give me a little don't.
Yeah. So and it's like that for women too. We
Yeah.
we all have our specifications. We all have what we like, what gets us there. So I'm a little weird. I'm a shape up girl.
Oh,
I like a
oh,
nice
my
butt. I
homegirl
like
like
a
that.
nice butt on a dude though. Don't get me wrong. But it's something about a shape up. Oh my
Listen,
god.
when I tell
Razor
you
sharp if you put your hand on it. Oh my god.
the razor line is key, it really is, man. That's why it's like you got to be hella specific. Like I'm always scared to try a new barber, man.
Hey, real
Cause
talk,
you
yeah,
could
real
tell the
talk.
way they hold the clipper or the razor. You like, nah, bro, nah, I'm good. You don't know what you're doing. I don't like the way your spirit is moving, the way you hold the razor. Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. So being as though you say that you're kind of boring, what have you, but I don't. Boring is definitely not a word that I would use to describe anybody's bedroom
Yeah.
antics because we're all having fun, all having a good time. But we learn a lot about ourselves along the way, who we really are sexually. So from the first time you had sex to the last time you had sex, what have you learned about yourself sexually?
I learned that I like to be in control. You know. Yeah. I mean, I definitely am in that regard. Am gonna be the one that's probably I'm leading the
Hmm.
situation.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't mind a woman taking charge, but I mean, I'm gonna be the one leading the show. And I like to please, you know. So those are the two things that you know I do feel that like take care of your partner first, and then
Hmm.
get yours off.
Hmm.
I think if you do that, I think if you make it about the other person and not yourself, you'll always have a repeat a repeat customer. You do that.
Yeah, yeah, most definitely. So, in being the leader, does that also play within the foreplay, within the initial attraction, within the I guess the pursuit? Does it also play out in that role as well? Or are you okay with a woman being more of an aggressor until you get into the bedroom?
Yeah, nah, I don't mind an aggressive woman in any aspect. You know what I mean? Nah, I mean that's refreshing too. You know, yeah, if a woman is aggressive, that's cool. I mean, I think if you talk to most men, we do like to be pursued too. You know what I mean? Like I
Mhm.
think that's probably one of the rare chances where it is fun when the rabbit gets the gun. You know, because
Mhm.
it does kind of feel like a stale construct whether you're in a relationship, especially yeah, I would say especially if you are in a relationship, if you are the
Mhm.
one just pursuing, and the woman is reacting, right? Like
Mhm.
that gets old after a while. You know, as a
Yeah.
dude, we want to still feel like we got a little juice, that we looking good, like you said, the shape up, right? Like if I come
Yeah.
in the crib with the shape up, just unbutton my shirt. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
listen, that will go 1,000 miles. Like just to do that, or just to next initiate like some freaky text conversation. Like as a dude, you'll be like, "Yo, you see this boy? This is my lady. She out here texting me." You know, it just feels good. It fills your chest up with pride.
Yeah, most definitely. So, just kind of speaking to that point, things that women can do to spark the attention, to keep things going. I think sometimes women sometimes forget that men need that same type of
Yeah.
attention.
Hmm.
Need that same, like, the thought processes, men are always visual,
Hmm.
but there's so much more to the visual.
Hmm.
There's so much more in what you say and how you act and things of that nature. Um, but on the flip side, when it comes to being a man, what do you think is mandatory for a man to bring to the bedroom? Or are there things that are mandatory?
I think what's mandatory is communication, though. You know what I mean? I think before we even get to the bedroom, I think your conversation got to be nice, though. You know what I mean? Like, I think you really need to stimulate a woman intellectually, right? Or just listen. Even if you don't have game, or just listen. Just be able to hold a good conversation, get them to feel comfortable. I think all of that stuff is mandatory. But I think once you get in the bed, man, just I think for real, just be coachable and teachable.
Mm,
Because if a dude is not nice in the bed, right? But he's willing to learn. If you can set your pride aside and just learn, and then also, even if you are nice, though, it's still relative, because
mhm,
the chick who
mhm.
you with 2020, you may be with somebody different in 2023. With
Right.
the woman who you was with in 2022, she may have liked this, and you come in doing this, and she like, nah, I really don't like that. Put my leg
Mhm.
down. Don't pull my hair. Don't punch me in my ribs. You like, my fault.
Right.
I was with a chick who did MMA. You know what I mean?
Right.
But just being willing to like just learn what this new person does.
Mhm.
Because I think for a lot of times sexually, you know, people could just want to get it off, and you're
Yeah.
not connecting with the person that you're with, So it's like if you with a woman, look at her eyes and look at the way that her body is reacting. If she not reacting, she not feeling what you're doing. So I think just for real, be present, and don't be afraid to ask questions. I'm one of them people. Do you like that? Let me know, okay? Because
Right.
I don't want
Right.
to be doing whatever for 10 minutes and you just like, I hope he stopped. No, let me know. I feel like it is a prerequisite to know that you about to enter into some grown people situations, and don't be afraid to ask questions, and don't be afraid to get your feelings hurt. You know what I mean? It's just like, all right,
That
cool. It
part.
ain't like that. We're gonna
Yeah.
figure out what you do like. So I think biggest thing is
So
just
let me ask you
sit
this.
your pride aside.
Let me ask you this. Being the female, okay?
Say it
I
again.
find it I find it hard sometimes to communicate without necessarily bruising the ego. Um, if I have some sort of discontentment with a sexual experience, you have to be very, very careful with men because they carry their egos around like this, like it's our little baby, and they burping it and they patting it on their chest, even in the bedroom. You know what I mean? It's hard. So it's a two-part question. One, how many times should a woman really give you to get it right? Is this three strikes you out? Or should we give you a little bit more time? And then two, what is the best way to let a man know, hey, this isn't working out so that we don't bruise his ego?
Mm, I think it depends. Like if it's for one, I would say is this a situation that you see could have some legs and will be long term. If it is a situation that you see that does have some potential, I think just having like an honest conversation with him, where you're not bruising the ego, or just, I mean, I think just, I mean, I could just speak for myself, just being a straight shooter, like, hey, listen, I enjoy what we have sexually, but
Mhm.
there are some areas that I would like for you to improve in, right? I think if you just like have a conversation like this, where it's not raised, you're not raising your voice or you're not insulting. I mean, it's gonna be hard, you know, but it's one of them situations. I mean, I think that's what relationship doesn't have any difficult conversations, So I think you just had a conversation like that.
So Mr. Flatliner chimed in and says that one of the things that is mandatory is patience,
Yeah,
because
definitely.
taking your time to fully learn her body is going to
Hmm.
take time, and you can make her fall deeply in love. I'm gonna have to go ahead and stop you right there, Mr. Flatliner. First off, I think we over chicks falling in love over the dick. Maybe I'm wrong.
Hmm.
I feel like in 2022, women are not falling in love over the dick. I don't care how good it is. I don't care how good you learn my body. I think that we've gotten to a point where we learn to definitely fall in love with what's at the core of a person. How good you are in bed is a bonus, but that's not what's at the core. Um, but what do you think, Mark? What do you think about women who fall in love with the D? Do you think that still exists?
Oh, I mean, my question would be, if it happened then, why not now? What's the
Things have
difference?
changed.
Things like
I
what?
think I think mindset has changed. I think that that process in general has evolved. Sex has evolved. People have evolved, and I think that women are more empowered in a different way. Definitely sexually, to be as free as we want to be um, as just really carefree, to really our level of not give a fuckness in the past, it probably maybe didn't exist as much, and now we are at a point where I feel like there are a lot of women who just kind of we don't give a fuck like that, not like that, not like that, to be like, oh my god, I'm so in love because it's just so good. I think that we far past that. I think that we far past that. I think that once we began to achieve more for ourselves sexually, that dynamic changed.
Now, you feel like you're speaking for yourself or the
I
vast
feel like
majority?
I'm speaking for myself and other women who got their shit together. Like I just feel like we're sexually progressive. Now as a woman, can I still make my man feel like a king? Of course I can. Can I do and or say things that's gonna keep your ego and your manhood and all those things intact? Of course. But in the grand scheme, am I going to fall in love just because the sex is good? I think that we're far past that. I think that there may
I
have
hear
been a
you.
time where that was all you could rely or see in a person. It was just, maybe you didn't know it was all this other good dick out here. You
I,
know what I
I
mean?
hear you to an extent. I mean, it basically sounds like what you're saying, that like women have progressed, and it's like ideologically you all have,
Mhm, mhm,
right? And I've encountered those women, right, where it's kind of like, do you mess with who you want to mess with? But I think like at the end of the day, no, none of our anatomy has changed,
right.
right?
Mhm,
So there's still going to be the same reaction, right? Once these two
mhm,
bodies connect, right?
mhm,
And there's so much stuff that happens. There's releases, mental, physical, right? And it's designed to bring two people together. So I think with that said, I think that there are women that still will fall in love over great sex.
mhm.
I do.
Do you think men also fall in love over great sex?
Mm, I think so. I think like I think men have a hard time with like processing their emotions. So I think like we probably wouldn't attribute it to that. I know like we'll go crazy over it, but we don't probably like we won't identify what's at the root of our crazy. But yeah, I
Mhm.
mean both parties do. Yeah, both parties do.
So I feel like you can definitely either sever the emotional connection to the experience or never engage in the emotional connection to the experience. Um, if that were always the case, then I feel like one night stands would never exist.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? These one off situations would never exist if it was always an emotional connection. Um, so I definitely I hear what you're saying. I'm not even gonna say that I disagree. But I just think that we are in a place, especially women, where it's not it's not, oh, I'm so mesmerized. Like men sometimes talk about the power of the pussy, and you get the pussy, you just pussy's opening up doors and shit. Like I feel like that's kind of like just a backward way of thinking. I think that I just feel like in general we've moved past that just a little bit. Just a little
No,
bit.
I mean, yeah, I will say this. So I definitely feel like we're at an age where is really not taboo to for a woman to be promiscuous, if that's the word we want to use, or have multiple partners or whatever you want to call it, right? We're definitely at an age where women can explore sexually, and it's accepted. You see that on social media, where who was it? Amber Rose had a slut walk
Yeah.
a couple years
Yeah.
ago. So
She did.
no, I agree with you there. But also, but here's the thing too, though. The flip side is this: you see a lot of people, like let's say just social media influencers or entertainers are like selling one thing but doing another, right? Like you have a lot of female singers who would like forget them dudes, do whatever, whatever, and they going home to a married dude, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's
Six in one hand, half dozen in the other, huh?
yeah.
Mr. Flatliner says gray hair makes men fall in love. Yeah, I guess it do.
He said what?
He said gray
Oh
hair
yeah,
makes
yeah,
men
yeah. I
fall
mean,
in
listen.
love. I guess it do while your soul being sucked out your system. I
Yeah, I
guess
mean,
it do.
listen, man, listen. If some a dude to give his whole paycheck if he get lost in the sauce, right? So
Have you ever been in a situation where you ever felt like the pussy had more power than you?
I think that's where that go back to my control issues. Where like I'll be honest with you. Remember on Forrest Gump? Remember when? Okay, remember the scene where the superintendent came right
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
slid Forrest's mom, and
Yeah.
remember like they didn't show it. You just saw Forrest sitting outside. And you just heard the dude in there like, ah,
Yeah.
I don't want that. Nah, don't give me no A+. Nah, give me some A minus or some B+. But no, nah, I wouldn't. I mean, it's definitely made me want to come back, and you got that urge, like, yo, I need to link with whoever. But nah, man, I feel like it's hard for me to surrender control way too
Mm-hmm.
much.
Mm-hmm.
So nah, I've never been there.
Okay, well let's rest our hat right there for just a second on you being able to surrender control or being in charge in the bedroom. You're a very take charge guy on stage. Is your on stage persona similar to your in bedroom persona? Are those two in the same as far as being in charge and taking control?
I would say so.
So when are you off? When is it that you're not in control and not in charge?
So let's say if you and I are in a relationship, I'm
Mm-hmm.
down for it being like co-equals, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So I'm not like domineering, running the house. You go do this. Nah, listen. We co-equals in this situation. But when it comes to that, I mean, I'm gonna let you do your thing too. But in that regard, it is my natural inclination that I'm running the show. And I wouldn't say running the show like you get what I'm saying.
Nah. Yeah, hey, it's not wrong with it.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people have that energy
Hmm.
or prefer that dynamic. So myself, I prefer to be more submissive in the bedroom, but that's because outside of the bedroom, I'm not. So I'm not submissive in any other aspect of my life.
Yeah.
So for me, like that's a power struggle for me just a little bit because I have to be able to release that. I have to be able to, you know what I
Hmm.
mean? But mentally, it's my fix is what I need. Like I can't be as strong as I am. I can't be like on the inside, I'm a whole nigga, but
That's
that nigga
correct.
is all day. You know what I'm saying? That nigga is all day, every day. So in that moment, that's when I can be a woman. That's when I can be, you know,
Hmm.
guided, taught, or whatever the case may be. So it's definitely like I get it, but like when you're on stage, like I bring big dick energy to the stage. You know what I'm saying? Like as soon as I get out there. But I'm definitely when I step off stage, it's like, no, I'm getting the bedroom. I back them out, meaning like you would never. But I know that a lot of people who are entertainment, whatever that energy is, they take that with them into the bedroom. Sometimes it's for the better, sometimes it's to their detriment. But
Yeah.
this is what we learn about ourselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As we go, it's what we learn about ourselves. So last thing, because I know you gotta go. You got a show to do to go out there in Vegas and be fucking amazing. Um, If you could give your sexual self a name, if you could give it a description, what would it be?
Uh, well, I'm a Leo, so I'm gonna go ahead and go with the lion.
Okay. Okay. MJ the Lion, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. So tell everybody before we get up out of here, what shows you have coming up, where we can find you, where we can follow you, how we can get some tickets and be a part of this process.
So we could be a part of the process. So Monday through Wednesday, I am at the Sahara Casino. I open up for Eddie Griffin, so it's a two-person show. So that is Monday through Wednesday, 8 p.m. Pacific time. And then the next show that I have will be July 27th through the 29th. Well, not next, but I will be at the Martha's Vineyard Comedy Festival. That will be in Martha's Vineyard, so I'll be there. Then the last day of the festival, or not the last day, but the last day of the week that I'm doing is on my birthday, July 29th. So that'll be dope. And
Okay.
then this Thursday, I'll be at CJ's Soul Food Restaurant in Columbus, Ohio. It will be my man OG from New York Talent. It will be Talent and myself,
Yes,
and
my
that show
babe.
starts at,
Give me some
yeah,
talent.
yep, 7 p.m. So that's it. And then they can catch me on social media at we do Instagram at Comic Mark Greg, COMICMARKGREG.
So how long is the residency there for Eddie Griffin?
Man, I don't. I'm just here. Eddie's been here for 13, 14 years, so we'll see. Yeah, but I'm enjoying it though. This heat is crazy though. Like today it's 113 degrees.
Yeah, let me tell you something. I do not go to Vegas in the summertime. That's my place for the fall, November,
Yeah,
September, somewhere, somewhere in there. And even then it's hot, but I like it. I like it in the fall because oh, the sidewalks will melt your shoes if you ain't safe.
they will. Yes, yeah. This weather is crazy. So I mean, listen, I drink Pedialyte water and stay in my hotel room.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. But you guys, if you are in Vegas, hey, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, be sure to catch him or Eddie Griffin at the Sahara. Eddie Griffin has been out here killing this thing, you guys.
Yes,
Really, I saw him. I want to say it was last year, but woo, I was impressed. Like you know how sometimes, even though these are OGs in the game 20, 30 years, if you don't see them for a while and then you see them and then like just kind of blow you away, you
yes.
like, damn. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like he
Man, you know
definitely.
what? It's so crazy. Like it's like a list of like underrated OGs. If I was
Mm,
to give, it's just my not slighting anybody, but like a list
right.
of like underrated OGs. I mean, you know who would be like at the top?
Tell
Mark
me.
Mark Curry.
Yo, Mark Curry is a fucking beast. Oh my. He's a fucking beast. Before I got into comedy, like I've done my show for a mighty long time, and I'm normally at shows covering events. I was covering Atlantic City Comedy Festival, I don't know, 2019 maybe. And he hosted. I was blown the fuck away. Like I seen him at the Comedy Factory. I seen him. I mean, he killed it an hour straight fire. Just God. And it's so different. Like I said, going like I've been in media, but then now being a comedian, just thinking about the things that I've seen, thinking about how these people work the audience, thinking about how they develop their jokes and how they put stuff together. Like he is so amazing.
Mm-hmm.
He is
Yes, he
so
is.
amazing. Definitely would give him his flowers. Like he's a beast. He's
My
a beast.
my first ever comedy weekend in the comedy club was with Mark Curry. And man, he was so gracious. I remember like it was just a two-man show. It was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Mhm.
So we did one on Thursday, two Friday, and I think Saturday the first show. He was like, "All right, little brother, the last 3 days you done been this direction with them jokes. Let's go this way, right?"
Yeah. Hmm.
And I mean, very gracious, helpful, but a pure animal. Another one is Damon Wayans, right? Like we
Yeah.
knew Damon was a dog in the '90s, but I did
Yes.
some
He's
dates with
still
him
there.
last year.
Hmm.
Man, listen, a comedy goat genius. I will put Eddie in that category.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a lot, man, of like guys that have been doing it, and you know they on the club scene. You may not see like their names, but they still got heat. You know.
You know what? The last time I saw Damon Wayans, and it's been within the last year or two, probably 2 years ago, maybe. He did. I went to the comedy club 2 days in a row, so I saw 6 shows. He did 6 different sets, and this is an hour or more a
Mhm.
set. 6 different sets. Like what? Like what? Like
Mhm.
it's so many people that you see, they travel, they do the big arenas, but you hear the same jokes. You
Yeah.
hear the same jokes. And there's nothing wrong with, if you got your favorite one, but you hear the same set, you hear the same set, hear the same set. When I tell you that he did 6 different sets, like that's 6 hours of different shit. I was like, damn. I was like, I just be in awe sometimes of some of the people that I see, and it's like, yo, I wish I had decided to go into comedy much sooner. You know what I mean? Better late than never, but I wish, because I think I would have appreciated it even much more if I
Yeah.
were a comedian. I would have been able to learn what I was supposed to learn in that time and not just be a fan. But it's okay though,
Yeah.
baby
How
steps.
often do you get on stage?
I get on stage pretty often. I go to a lot of open mics, and
Okay.
then I'll do like a whole weekend at least once or twice a month. Like I did a weekend with D-Lay. I featured for him. I featured for JJ Williamson, and then Rodney Perry be here first weekend in August, and I'm a featured in. So like I get out, but it's like
And now, where are you located?
I'm in DC.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha. In DC.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm in
Yeah.
DC.
I mean, that's the key to it though. Is and just I mean, since you 4 hours away, try to get up to New York at least once a month.
You don't even understand. I'm calling talent tomorrow and be like, look here,
Listen.
somebody put me on the stage somewhere.
Try to
Somebody
get up,
real quick,
yeah,
real
try
quick.
to get up to New York as much as possible because New York will expedite the growth. I think they say like 1 year in New York is like 3 years any other place. So yeah, I mean, if you even, I mean, I hear what you're saying in terms of you started late, but listen, just stay on that stage and keep stay on that stage, and you'll turn into a monster.
Yeah, most definitely. I appreciate that though.
Yeah.
Thank you so, so much. I appreciate you sitting down with me, bro, taking the time. I know you got to go do your thing, so we will let you go. You guys, we will be right back here next week, of course, on WES Radio. I am T Gray. Make sure if you want some merch, if you want to see what your girl is doing, sextalkwithtgray.com. Be sure to follow me at Sex Talk with T Gray. Make sure you get on YouTube. God damn, you hit that like, you hit that subscribe. Let's run these numbers up. I will see you all next Tuesday. We'll be right here having a good time. Bye bye.
All right. Peace.